It was in the year 2000. I was in New York training at Renzo Gracie's Academy. I was staying with Matt Serra. At that time, I was a purple belt, and Matt Serra was a black belt. I forget what Danaher, I forget what belt he was, but I remember we had a few philosophical conversations with Renzo, and we were there late one night, and I forget who, but I was having some success versus black belts at that academy with leg locks. And I wasn't using much heel hooks back then because they were in training, be careful, But I was doing, let's say, pretty good with heel hooks, and I was doing more than almost anyone else. And he actually said, he didn't say what's this BS you're doing, but it's kind of what's your deal? And I said, it's like it's 50% of the human body. Why'd you ignore it? And he kind of looked away. So it impacted his mind apparently. It was the old school Renzo Gracie Academy in downtown by Penn Station in New York. It was just pretty cool because I remember that conversation we had. And yeah, we didn't go over any specific techniques. He even says it, but it's pretty cool that Boss Rutan, who's one of my. Of course, I look up to Boss Rutan. He's the generation above me. But I was shadowboxing one day, and the boss was like, "Hey, come here, let me see your hands." And I'm like, "Wait, Boss Rutan, I'm showing him my hands," and he said, "Hey, Lister, your hands, they're not slow, but they look slow." I'm like, "What? Thanks, but no thanks." And he told me, I'm doing this. My elbows, he said, "Keep your elbows in," right? So anyways, that one little sentence from Boss Rutan probably was like 2 years of instruction probably, because this is very sloppy, my elbows. Your eye can see this, but your eye can't see this as much. Of course, I'm not doing correct right now, but not that, I was doing that. So no one else told me that in those words. It impacted my career because it made sense to me. For whatever reason, it made sense to me. So I'm glad that whatever I said made sense to John Danaher. It's a pretty cool honor to be mentioned by him.
Yeah, so that's saying why ignore 50% of the human body? It's become sort of an iconic saying that you did at this point. You make memes out of it and stuff like that. Is that something you had been saying, or was that just off the cuff? You just said that?
I believe it was my friend who also gave me my black belt, Jeff Higgs, actually said it to me when he's like, 50% of the human body. We had a discussion about this at my first gym with Fabio Santos here in San Diego. I think we were facing these Armenian guys, tough Armenian guys in LA in tournaments, and they would go for foot locks. And it was kind of scary because these guys would get your foot and they'd rip it off. They were some strong guys living in LA. They're from Armenia. Now, they were the rival gym of my coach. My coach did not like this instructor, Gokar Chavichin. Right? I don't know why my coach and him did not like each other. So it was kind of something that was kind of not scary. I was doing footlocks already, but if someone is a wrestler, the worst thing is to be thrown and pinned in wrestling. It's like a scary thing. Being thrown is like scary in wrestling. In Muay Thai kickboxing, it's elbows. Elbows are the scary thing. They're dirty, they're scary. Scary, but I've been cut by elbows. They don't scare me so much anymore. But that's the scary. That's the secret thing that people don't, because they can hurt you. And then legs, or jiu-jitsu, it's leg locks. That's scary. I figured, I want to learn about elbows. I want to learn about leg locks. I want to learn about throws. I want to learn about that. I don't want to avoid it, So, yeah, it's become synonymous, 50% of the human body. I think it's my friend Jeff Higgs who said it to me one day, and it retained in my head for some reason, So it's pretty cool, yeah. I did say that one day. I did say that, yeah.
So, what was your reaction when, over a decade later, John's team is the best in the world at that point, and they're ill, and then you hear him sort of credit you with kicking off his history?
It was, he didn't have to say that about me. He could have just said it was all his idea. So of course he has some humility to mention me. I don't know. It was kind of weird. In 2003, I won with what's today known as the 50-50 position, and I did not come up with that position like meaning I'm not the first person to do that position. Of course not. There's guys in Japan doing it and stuff, but it's something that no one taught me, and it was working for me as well. So I did it in Brazil, and I remember the Brazilians were saying, "Okay, essa porcaria que fazer esse gringo." This BS, this gringo. Gringo means foreigner, by the way. So there was this. What's this foreigner doing? It's a bunch of BS. I was kind of like, I was kind of upset a little, but I had my trophy and I had my medal, and the whole time I wasn't really that upset. But I was a little disappointed, because some people I looked up to were saying, what I'm doing is not jujitsu, the gentle art, And then a few months later, I hear about this new move called the 50-50. I'm like, I want to see what this new move is. And it's how I won Abu Dhabi. You know, it's a Brazilian position now. So it's interesting to see how, over time, whatever it's called, someone did it 2,000 years ago, I'm sure. Someone did it in ancient Greece, I'm sure, okay? But it's interesting, it's pretty cool to see, like, I like when I die, like some of the things I've, you know, maybe it's 0.001%, you know, or whatever, it's still gonna be in jiu-jitsu forever, you know? As long as there's jiu-jitsu, there'll be a little part of my style into it, you know? It's gonna happen for sure. That's one thing really cool about jiu-jitsu. People can forget your name, but some things you've done with your style, it's gonna influence someone in some way. Everyone you've trained with has influenced your style in some way. So it's pretty cool to see, you know, 50% of the human body. I mean, that's a big percentage, right?